If you're considering a 2007 to 2021 Toyota Tundra, you're going to benefit from the information in this video. The second generation Tundra was produced for the 2007 model year, and the truck stayed relatively unchanged, at least mechanically, until it was replaced with the 2022 model. The Toyota Tundra is an extremely dependable truck, but there are some problems that you should be aware of before buying one, as they can cost thousands of dollars to fix. If you enjoy automotive content and find this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Along with many other Toyota vehicles, some Tundras have faulty fuel pumps. The 2018 and 2019 Tundra were produced with bad fuel pumps, which can cause the engine to run rough, stall, or stop running completely. This can be dangerous if you're driving on the highway or in heavy traffic. Toyota recalled these model years, but be sure the recall has been fixed. The door lock actuators are a common failure point on the Tundra, meaning the door locks will stop working on some or all of the doors. They'll either stop working completely or they'll work intermittently, so the doors will no longer lock and unlock reliably. This is a common problem across many different Toyota and Lexus vehicles. Factory programming automatically locks all the doors every time you begin driving. This is a common feature on newer vehicles, but it can cause the locks to fail prematurely. You can have them replaced relatively inexpensively, or you can change them yourself if you're handy. Depending on the model year, you can turn this auto lock and unlock feature off yourself through the settings in the screen, while only the dealer can do it on some model years. The Tundra has also had issues with brake calipers seizing. A seized caliper might cause the vehicle to pull towards one side. You might hear a brake squeal or metallic rubbing noise or uneven pad wear. You can also smell or feel excessive amounts of heat near the wheel with the seized caliper after driving due to the pads continuously making strong contact with the rotor. Replacing the caliper isn't too difficult or expensive, and some owners might decide to do this job themselves at home. Many owners have complained that the brake rotors in their Tundra begin warping prematurely, causing a shaking when braking. You might see and feel the vibration through the steering wheel or the seat depending on if the front or rear rotors are warped. This can usually be felt at all different levels of braking, whether you're slowly coming to a stop or slowing down normally, not just under hard stops. This can be fixed by replacing the brake rotors with upgraded parts when the problem develops, or you can live with the annoying vibration until you need to change both pads and rotors. Warped rotors are a common problem with Tundras and other large vehicles due to their weight and the fact that they commonly tow, causing higher heat and strain on the rotors. Toyotas are known for rust problems, which were especially prominent in early 2000s Toyota models like the Tacoma, Tundra, and some Lexus vehicles. Thousands and thousands of vehicles were recalled due to premature frame rust, and Toyota would either replace the frame or buy the vehicle back. The issues have been addressed for the most part, but they still have a tendency to rust earlier than they should. If you live in a snowy, salty, wet region, check the undercarriage carefully for rust. Small amounts should be no issue, but you don't want a vehicle with heavy rust damage, as this will likely be the failure point of the vehicle. The best way to prevent rust problems if you live in the Rust Belt is to have an undercoating applied each year and rinse the salt off the vehicle as often as possible. The most expensive problem to fix on the 5.7-liter Tundra is an oil leak. Basically, some Tundras were affected by a cam tower leak, which basically means the engine develops an oil leak due to a faulty design. The valve cover on the 5.7 breaks down, allowing oil to seep out, often resulting in 1 quart of oil or more lost every 1,000 miles or so. This can cause the engine to begin ticking due to low oil level over time, or it can cause a burning smell as the oil seeps onto the outside of the engine block. The issue doesn't have anything to do with the engine itself, and it won't affect its reliability or performance as long as the oil level is maintained. The problem can be fixed, but it requires disassembling parts of the engine, which can add up to a pricey repair bill, well into the thousands. This was a common problem with the 5.7-liter engine found in Toyota and Lexus products, so be sure to keep this in mind when searching for a used one, and be sure the issue has been addressed before the warranty period expires. Consumer Reports says that the overall reliability for almost every model year is excellent. The engine, transmission, drivetrain, suspension, and other major components are basically trouble-free, aside from the isolated problems mentioned. Understand the Toyota Tundras are by no means unreliable. They have been very dependable since they first came out for the 2000 model year. If you ask owners their favorite part of the Tundra, it's almost always going to be their dependability. If you search on forums and other sites looking for reliability problems, you'll find very few. The 5.7-liter V8, while some of them did have faulty gaskets causing an oil leak, are nearly bulletproof. The engine hasn't changed since Toyota first began producing it. They've been using it for many years in the Toyota Tundra, Sequoia, LX570, as well as the Land Cruiser, which is known to be the longest-lasting car in the world. People buy Land Cruisers to use in the most treacherous environments, so they want something that they know is going to last and not leave them stranded. The fact that this engine hasn't been tuned to produce an insane amount of horsepower is one of the reasons it will last forever. It doesn't have a crazy high redline either, so the engine is never overworked even if you're towing or driving it aggressively. In addition, the 6-speed transmission doesn't have any widely known problems. Transmission failures are basically unheard of. Unlike many other vehicles today, it doesn't have 8, 9, or 10 gears, which make it more complex with more moving parts, potentially reducing its lifespan. There have been many owners with 200,000 to 300,000 miles or more, and their transmissions are still running strong. The famous million-mile Tundra with the 4.7-liter V8 was nearly perfect, with the only problem being that reverse went out at 770,000 miles. After the reverse gear was restored, the original transmission continued on with no further issues. The Tundras are sold with a 3-year, 36,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, which covers almost any problem you might have during that time period. In addition, they have a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty, which covers things like the engine and transmission. If you're buying a slightly used Tundra, you'll probably still have warranty remaining, so you can address any issues you find. Some owners decide to purchase an extended warranty through Toyota for peace of mind, but most people don't find it necessary due to how reliable these trucks are. The most important component of getting a Tundra or any vehicle to last a long time is regular service. This isn't just oil and filter changes either. Take a look at the service manual to see what maintenance items need to be completed. Be sure to read the fine print, because underneath the standard recommendations, you'll find additional maintenance items for special operating conditions. These special conditions consist of driving on dirt or dusty roads, towing, using a car-top carrier, or hauling loads. Most importantly, you'll need to change the front and rear differential fluids, transfer case fluid, transmission fluid, and brake fluid, in addition to standard oil changes. Keeping these fluids clean will prolong the life of the powertrain, and it will last seemingly forever. While Toyotas can handle a lack of service better than most, it's always best to stay up to date with these relatively inexpensive maintenance items. Traditionally, people buy trucks to pull trailers, haul loads in the bed, and perform other work with. These aren't sedans that sit in the garage all week and drive back and forth to the store, so the fact that they're relatively trouble-free despite being used very hard is pretty amazing. These owner-reported problems are not extremely common at all. Most owners have little to no problems, but these issues mentioned are the ones to be aware of if you're considering buying a used Tundra. Toyotas are known for making the longest-lasting trucks for a reason, and this is demonstrated by the Tacoma, Land Cruiser, and other extremely well-built vehicles. The owners buying and using pickup trucks aren't exactly easy on them. The engine and transmissions can take years and years of hard use, and this has been demonstrated many times. You might be thinking, who cares about the reliability if I'm not going to keep it forever? Well, it's not just about having a powertrain that will last decades. It's about having a high-quality vehicle that will hold up well and won't break down frequently while you own it. You don't want to be on a first-name basis with your mechanic while you're trying to fix various issues. Overall, you should expect the second-generation Tundra to be a very reliable truck that you can depend on. There are obviously newer, more modern options out there from other brands as well as Toyota. You can buy a turbocharged V6 hybrid Tundra with all the bells and whistles, but the great thing about the previous generation Tundra is its simplicity and ruggedness. What you see is what you get, and many buyers appreciate the Tundra's quality and reliability more than having the latest and greatest.